Walter, I want to ask you a question. Do you think being told how you mattered to someone's life is different from simply being told you're loved?
As a matter of fact, thanks. I didn't make it as clear as I want. The question allows me to be clear. Most people know how you feel about them. I don't think they're surprised when somebody, because nowadays people say, I love you. I say it to my guy friends. They kind of know that. They have no idea of the impact they've had on my life. And only if we can be specific can we add power to the mattering message.
It makes me think of a teammate that I had in high school who I've never really told this to, so I probably need to pick up the phone and call Keith because we haven't spoken in years. But he was my teammate and he ended up becoming state champion runner, ran in at a collegiate level, was an All-American, missed the Olympics by hundredths of a second. But he really took me under his wing when he was a junior in high school and I was a sophomore. And he really taught me to care. And because he cared a lot about becoming a better runner. And at that point, I was kind of going through the motions. And he brought the rigor and the pride and the esteem and in subtle ways kind of made me think I could be a better person. I could be a better runner. I could work harder. I could develop more grit. And I've never really shared that with him. And that kind of carried on with me through the rest of my life. But it's moments like that we need to tell those people those things because they
Yeah,
probably never
so
even.
John, I want you to do that, and I want you to send me an email afterwards and tell me what that experience is like. And I'll tell you a similar story, and I know how powerful it is. There was a driver of a person who took me to the airport. This goes back a couple of years. And he says, "What do you do?" And I said, "Well, I'm actually trying to get people to awaken to the power of acknowledging people while they're alive, not waiting till they're dead." He said, "Oh, that's interesting." He said, I don't know, he must have been in his 30s, I'm guessing. He said, I had a basketball coach, comes immediately to mind. He taught me so much about life. Oh, I got chills again. I said, really? Is he still alive? He said, yeah, I don't see him, but he's still alive. I said, well, it's up to you, but it'd probably feel pretty good if you told him the impact he had on your life. It'll feel good to you, probably feel good to him. Next time I drove to the airport, he said, I just want you to know I reached out to my coach. I said, really? What was that like? Because there is no income in this, John. I have no business. I was done with business 25 years ago. There is no profit motive in Say It Now. The book profits that I had go back into the Say It Now movement. I have a book coming out next week. Profits will all go back to the Say It Now movement. I have nothing to sell. There is no earnings from this. So these psychic stories, that's why I asked you, I want to hear about yours. Psychic stories is when he tells me, I said, what was it like? He said, hey, coach, I haven't seen you. I'd like to come see you. Why don't we meet in the basketball, wherever they used to play on the court? So he goes there. The coach has a basketball. I said, Coach, I didn't come to play basketball. He said, well, what'd you come for? He said, I want you to sit down on the bench. I want to tell you how my life differed because of what you taught me when you were my coach. Powerful.
Very powerful.